Had enough of atmospheric, self-serious art pop ballads? I thought I was. Truthfully, I tend to go into albums that hint at that stylistic and kinetic limbo with the same level of optimism that I do with a yardie, but songwriters like Kelsey Lu helped ground me, reminding me that this style can be done with a bit more passion, wind up genuinely engaging, sometimes with an air of mystery to it that actually keeps me wanting to peer in, further and further, like the shower drain sometimes. Not only is Lu an expressive vocalist, it's the way that her high notes soar over these instrumentals that wind sweeps the album into its most mysterious highs. It is a handy tool for her to form the base of these songs by using her voice to thicken the atmosphere, because usually there isn't much else to be heard. Pushin' Against the Wind, for example, is led by acoustic guitar, and because it's at the forefront of the song with little else to distract from it, it very naturally trails you along with its melody and chord progression, reminiscent of the bygone remains of a sunken shipwreck. A glockenspiel chimes in the background like an attention-grabbing glimmer in the corner of your peripheral vision, something that signals to you that there is more yet to discover. Gave me I Spy Treasure Hunt flashbacks, honestly. This is only one out of many examples of Lu's immaculate songwriting. The album only gets better, to be honest. Due West sounds so lonely, but not at all saddened by it. It's led by a two-step groove that sounds ready for a slow dance, the kind of thing that inspires you to practice your best pirouette. It sounds as if it's using loneliness for somebody else's chance to be content with themselves, channeling their focus into self-delight, which is a-okay. For something so intimate and soft-spoken, it manages to grow into an assertion of bold trust of oneself. She flies loose on the thrilling, disco-inspired Poor Fake, a truly uplifting moment on the album, although I do kinda have to giggle at the gust of spoken word during the bridge. Just gives me cheesy pantomime vibes.
What do we have here? Could this be a forgery?
The strings on Foreign Car give me that churning feeling in my gut when you're on the downhill on a roller coaster. It sounds like something I'd row a boat to in rhythm with 4 other muscular individuals. Unfortunately, I don't think it holds the same organic flow throughout the entire album. Towards the end, it just starts to get a little bit indescript, exposing the usually inherent flaws in albums entirely comprised of echoey slow jams. It's not a gigantic problem, given that about 70% of the record hits the spot, especially the cover of I'm Not In Love by 10cc, a piss-takey band with piss-takey songs, that then dropped one of the most poignant songs of all time about love, a song that subverts cliche and is depressively honest about being on autopilot in a relationship, the emptiness inside when you realize you can't show the same passion and warmth anymore, a song responsible for the redirectioning of contemporary music and the entirety of Father John Misty's career. In the context of the album, this cover is perfect. Given the original's instrumental was formed via the sole use of the human voice, it invites Kelsey Lu to use hers as the rails of guidance in her version, just as she has been doing on the rest of these songs, which I think is a pretty safe move. To be honest, I'm pleasantly surprised by my liking of this one. Usually I have to pinch myself to stay awake. This time I did, but to convince myself I wasn't really imagining that I did like it. But I do. 7 out of 10.